Look, there's two things that I wish I knew earlier in life. I'm 24 now, but if I knew these two things and I genuinely understood it, my life would have progressed quicker and I would have gotten to my goals faster. One is that social media truly only shows a certain percentage of people's lives. Even if someone is fully authentic and they tell their real story and they show the struggles, the good times, the bad times, that's only a percentage of their life. Because even if you had a camera on someone 24/7, you wouldn't know what they're feeling, what they're thinking at all times through every moment, and you would only be seeing it through that one lens. You know what I mean? And I'm on social media every day. I post on Instagram every single day, and my main goal for Instagram is to teach people to have a higher level of confidence and a better appreciation for life. And even that, like, I don't ever want to come across that I have this perfect life, that I have everything figured out, and that there's no issues or anything going on with me. I've got it all squared away. Because that's not reality. I deal with things just like everybody else does, and I get in my head a lot. Everybody has their own insecurities, their own problems, their own things going on. So don't compare your life to other people's lives based off social media. And I would hear that, but I didn't really like apply it and believe it and like oh yeah. You should only, I think the only time you should compare your life to someone on social media is when you're using it as like motivation or something positive. But like if you're looking at someone else that's 24 and you're 24 and they're like, you're like, dang, like I should have that already. They've got that. This good, and it's like you shouldn't ever compare yourself in that way. You should use it as motivation towards like, dang, this person already got that. That's dope. Yep, I want to start working towards it. Whatever. But only compare yourself in a positive way, because everybody usually shows the best version of themselves on social media, and it's just not reality. There's more to the picture than what can be shown, and that's one lesson I wish I would have really learned early on, because it just causes unnecessary stress in your life. It causes unnecessary happiness, and it causes you to be unintentionally ungrateful. God has given me and you a lot of blessings, and in one moment we can blind ourselves from what we've been given because we compared ourselves to someone else. But second thing, this is really for the men too. Really for the men. I'm very much like an overthinker, and I can twist my whole life, and just like everybody, perspective is reality. So the way that you perceive an event is reality to you. The way that you perceive your life is reality to you, and you do that enough times over and over. Now you've really formed a belief that isn't necessarily easy to change. And I'll share a couple quick stories, just if you haven't heard. If I don't know, you're new to my page and you don't know who I am, but I talk a lot about the quality of your life is based off internal attributes much more than your external attributes. So for example, by the time I was 16, I was fighting 6 felonies and 3 misdemeanors. On all the paperwork, it said that I was facing up to 13 and a half years. Now in reality, I probably wasn't going to get 13 and a half years because I was 16 years old. It was my first case and all this. But one of my charges, one of my first, out of the 6 felonies, the 3 felonies came from burglary. I broke into someone's house, and I got the whole story if you want to see it later, but it's towards the beginning of my page, one of my posts on YouTube. I broke into someone's house, got caught up, long story short, and that's a very serious crime. You break into someone's house, like, you can very realistically be sitting down for 4 years. We're going to give you 5 years. You just broke into someone's house. 6 years. 2 years. It even sounds like a blessing. Like, man, you only got 2 years, you broke into someone's house? And I was locked up until I had my first court case, and I was on house arrest, I was on probation for years. I went through the whole system. Even during those periods of my life when I was locked up, when I was on house arrest, the quality of my life was better than when I was in different countries like Malaysia or Thailand or Singapore, Nepal, traveling around the world, early 20s, living life. I had a better quality of life locked up versus those times where I was traveling. Why is that? How does that even make sense? How does that even make sense? It's because of my internal attributes. What I was doing, the way that I talked to myself, and the habits that I was partaking in. So when I was locked up, I was so focused. I was so focused. I think I read a whole book in a day. And where I'm from, we don't read. Like everybody, we wasn't reading. We were not reading unless it was an assignment that we were forced to read in school. Read a whole book, doing a bunch of push-ups, stretching. I'm just like, I was taking care of myself. I was really taking care of myself in that cell. Even though I wasn't in there for how long, I was taking care of myself. And then fast forward, boom, now I'm in Thailand, I'm in Malaysia. I'm getting so drunk, I'm staying out all night, I'm just so lustful. I'm like after every girl that I find attractive, and I'm just like seeking desire and chasing pleasure nonstop. And it's so unfulfilling. And like the quality of your life is not based off the external. Like externally, I was locked up. Externally, I'm traveling the world, seeing new cultures, food, places, people. The quality of your life is not based off the external. Like the biggest factor is internally. The way that you talk to yourself and the things that you do each day. That's the biggest separator between me, you, and everyone else. And I talk a lot about that because it's a thing that I wish I would have learned a lot. But how do you fix like the internal things that you do struggle with? Like the way that I deal with internal struggles is right here. This is journal. I write down my thoughts, and it's not, oh, you got a fucking diary, bro. It's not a diary. I'm a very big overthinker, and I can sit for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, hours just throughout the day, just thinking. And by the end of it, I feel like I've made progress, but in reality, I just mentally exhausted myself. I didn't make any progress. I sat and I thought and I went and I did all these things, and I'm like stressed out and blah, 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 and I'm going through all these things. I just mentally exhausted myself. And then I do it again a couple days later, a week later. What journaling is writing down a problem, talking through it, just writing through it. It does so much for you. It helps you understand your thoughts. It helps you clearly visualize what you're dealing with, and then eventually you can come up with a solution, and you can see the progress that you made based off the journal. Like, boom, a week ago I wrote this. I was really struggling with this. Like, whoa. I didn't even know I was dealing with that back. I forgot about that. Like I made so much progress. You can see the progress, and I'm real big on journaling. And I wish I would have started this earlier because a lot of men are afraid to deal with emotions. And I tell a lot of guys, you should feel your feelings. Like you should really feel your feelings. And this is an amazing way to do that because you write them out, you understand yourself, and you make progress instead of just mentally exhausting yourself. And I just really hope this resonates. I hope the two things that you take from this is that don't compare yourself negatively to other people on social media. Only do it positively. And when you start to focus more on the things that matter, the internal attributes of your life, you're going to run into roadblocks. But to deal with those roadblocks, journal it, write it out, understand yourself, set aside time to intentionally think and work through the problem instead of just stressing throughout the day, taking up 2, 3, 4 hours when you could be living in the moment, and get some clarity. I really hope that resonates, but stay locked in. The future looks bright. Ow!